So hi everyone, आज है 12 तारीख and first trading session of the week सोमवार का दिन देखो market open होते ही साथ shocked everyone by giving this much of gap up and if you look at Sensex also इसमें भी बहुत ही एक major gap up है which is of close to 1.7% insane uh, out of everyone's imagination and it is opening right now somewhere close to 800. So you cannot expect a retracement from this kind of market because I think today's market will be more bullish as per the viewer, as per the market news and everything. But after this kind of bullishness, we can't target the buyers into the market. So that is very simple today. Also, if the VIX does not go down, if it doesn't go down by let's say below 20, then I will not going to have any kind of trade today because the uncertainty is over. Maybe the premiums are going to be melting down because the VIX will go down drastically because of lack of uncertainty. So that is the thing that should be kept in mind. As per as expected, market is giving chance to neither to the buyer nor to the seller to do anything here. चलो खुलते ही साथ 81,000 का breakout हो गया, which is a fair thing. Also, in Nifty 500 breakout has been happened. VIX भी पूरा एकदम कम हो गया तो let me add the funds into the position क्योंकि VIX down हो गया तो we will get a good opportunity to have some positions. So as per the view, what we could expect from the market here is should do a little bit of retracement just to remove the random buyers in because the initial candle itself is being into green. So just one effort is needed to remove them. After that, we could have some positions. So as per the view, let me have some strike prices as per the market. Premiums are no doubt hovering high only. Still, I have to go for something 40 only because let me add the details here also. If I have a look at the premiums also, call options are looking good, going great also. From an overall perspective, if you look, okay, it has broken all the highs. There is a high of previously made candle, which shouldn't, which should be taken. I'm expecting today to be a good day. So if at any place I am getting some kind of hint from the market that yes, I can. Let's see if any hammer formation happens in the put option, then we can plan something. Otherwise, um, there would be a momentum which will ensure the premium ticket for the sellers because you should be aware that VIX are already down. VIX VIX down होने का कारण would be the lack of uncertainty into the market. और as the continuation में buy नहीं किया जा सकता, let's wait for some positions of you can say sellers. After that, we could have some position. If there will be a clear cut move, then we could have some position. Otherwise, we will not. What do I mean by clear cut move? Look on the 5 minutes chart. There is no upper side sellers SL available. Only the sellers who are selling at this point would be getting out of the market because of the gap up at this clear candle. So I should be thinking that, okay, if market takes resistance exactly from here, there could be a possibility of buying. Second opportunity we can get here after a strong breakout of this point, this high. That is what happened right now. Okay, actually. So इस strong breakout के बाद एक जो momentum downside का possible रहता है just to go for a retracement उसमें नहीं जाएंगे हम लोग because that is going to be the trend the opposite momentum. We will go for the momentum which will be which will be in the direction of trend only. So it is clearly taking resistance there, but that is not fair enough. It is not strongly taking resistance. One strange thing I can notice here is put options are not falling in that much. I think probable reason could be so. What people would be thinking here is call options are going right now. Put options are not falling that much. Means people would be trying to happily buy into the put options, and therefore the positions on the put option is going to make doing some accumulation of sellers over 24,550 or 24,450. Let's see if I see any kind of investment here. That would be a good point for the accumulation of sellers over here. So it is clearly taking resistance at the point that we have placed just before. And in Sensex also, the resistance has been already broken out. In the hurry of getting some good momentum, we are not going to do the mistakes like entering into a trade without having some good confirmations. So these are the mistakes that we are not going to do. One strange thing I can notice, I think there is a mistake that I have done. So can you see the strange thing here? These put option is definitely growing right now. But if you look this call one, this is also insanely growing. I don't know what is exactly the position being made into the market. And we can't bluntly just go into the option saying that it will go and giving the unnecessary reasons to enter into an option. That is something that we are not going to do. The point where I have added the premiums into the watch list, at that time they are below 80 and 90, and this time it is above 120. But one concerning part here is market has not given chance to enter it in any place. No doubt this one is a small retracement, but this is not something that you could probably hunt for. There is a clear cut accumulation of good buyers happening on the downside. Yes, there is a crucial point in magnitude also that you should be keeping in mind. And I should do, which is 55,000, a major hurdle for the bank Nifty previously. Again, it is going continuously, which means we could probably there are small retracements. If you look at this retracement also, this is only a few points. So what I am expecting is it should give a better retracement so that any further positions should be made, or at least um, accumulation of sellers happen. Otherwise, the point of the point on the basis of which market moves will not be valid anymore, which is on the basis of liquidity. No doubt we could probably conclude here is if market is getting good chunk of sellers already sitting into the market, which is there in Nifty. So we could probably see a continuous momentum, but that is not going to be sustainable momentum. It is exactly taking resistance there. In sell side also, the round numbers have been already broken out, and it is taking resistance from close to 81,400. So here we can't conclude that it will gonna fall from here. And we are not going to be taking a resistance or retracement kind of trade for sure. So this is the first time pullback happened right now towards buy side. We'll be entering into once the low breakdown happens. So yes, the low breakdown already happened. If this is making a hammer type of pattern, then I will wait for another retracement. Why we could wait for a little bit of more retracement? Because it is taking resistance from a very particular point, which is the high which it has made on the basis of swings. You could probably see a little bit of downside momentum just to um, okay. If you look at 5 minutes chart, there is the first red candle in the entire 15-minute aftermath opening. So at this point, people would be no doubt selling right here. चलो दोनों तीनों कैंडल में वॉल्यूम्स आज भी हैं. We have to take the risk, so we will handle the position right here. This is not the first time pullback, so you shouldn't be worried about that. So I have placed this stop loss successfully also. Uh, Probably the retracement that we were looking for has already been done. That's why I am expecting a continuation from here. Because the point at which it is taking resistance is fairly a good point to accumulate some sort of sellers over there. And here people's psychology would be uh, it has gone up so much, how much it will go further. Right. So against that psychology, here our trade is no doubt possibly could go wrong also on the basis of because it is forming a rejection candle from downside. That's why it is giving me a little bit fear out of it. One thing, because it has good volumes in selling candle, so probably that is to accumulate further some a little bit of sellers above the high for accumulation purpose only. And further we could see some continuations. Let's see, we can't predict right now anything. If once the premium goes above 96, we could sit relaxed. But before that, Bank Nifty is going good. Next point for the Bank Nifty would be 55,200, which people would be thinking also. The momentum is not that fast in premiums. That is possibly due to the effect of VIX because the volatility has gone down drastically. But let's see, we will be expecting a good move on. There is a point which is 81,400, taking resistance right there only. In continuation itself, the momentum has been going a little bit good only because our entry is possibly in the middle of price. That's why I'm expecting a little momentum from this market only. One concerning part would be here that the people would be looking for a 55,200 breakout or at least touch of that. They would be possibly easily sitting into the market. The high in the premium is 109, which is made by previous. I don't think any kind of major hurdle here. One thing just need to be kept in mind is 24,600 breakout, which is not fairly a round number, but people would be looking for that also. If possibly our entry could be at a better place, then we could think for at least 500 breakout, 81,500 breakout in this screen, Sensex. Let's see, we'll be looking for that also. Everything looks fine right here, but you can't even think where the uncertainty will come. So you need to be prepared for that also. It had good volumes, everything is good in this candle. Once the 500 breakout happens, we will think for booking also. For 500, it has only few points left. I should activate the plan of booking right here. No doubt it will showing us some sort of rejections and all. One thing clearly noticeable is it has good, it has given good rejections in the 1 minute candle. Also, the 500 has not yet been broken. Market has done some good continuous candles, no doubt. If you look at Bank Nifty also, there is no as such point of resistance in Bank Nifty. So possibly 200 breakout we could expect minimum at very having a very low expectation from market. I am expecting a breakout of so in Nifty as our position is in Nifty, 700 is becoming very far from here. No doubt there will be hurdles, there will be a little bit of retracement every place, at every point. If any kind of liquidity hunt happened in put option, there is no sign of as such that. The high has not been taken yet in the option prices. That's what making me fear of this position. No doubt I am expecting a good target from the market, but you should be keeping in mind that that is going to be the target for everyone, right? Everyone would be thinking of that only. Whoever random buyer came into the market, they will be thinking that at least a round number the breakout project, then we will exit from the market. First of all, it has taken resistance by giving rejection kind of candle, and after that is showing little bit of continuation of that rejection. That is what giving a little bit of confidence to hold this trade. But we need to look at the adversities also, because when you are in the position, you will be thinking that what are the things that are going to be in my favor only. You will not see the opposite side. The high has not been yet taken. That is the thing need to be kept in mind. So in Bank Nifty, the rejection is humongous, making a bullish engulfing kind of pattern, but not in Nifty. Okay, so this candle has good volumes in it in Nifty, so we could probably wait for a bigger target. This kind of complete bullish engulfing candles or bearish engulfing candle gives me confidence to hold because these are the signs that market is going to go in our direction only. बैंक निफ्टी में थोड़ा on the basis of Sensex we are waiting into this trade. Definitely there will be market creating some bit of fear, but the high is not being taken yet. That is the only concerning part because if the premium once plays the high, it will be good. But let's see, we are sitting in running profit, so we shouldn't be worried about. Also, the breakout has not been yet happened. I think market is on a plan of trapping immediate buyers right here because people would be selling no doubt here and they will be getting confidence or adding some position once it will show a continuation little bit. I think market is in the plan of that only. Bank Nifty is looking good as per holding view, not Nifty. The candles, the kind of candles that are it is making right now is giving me fear out of holding this position. Clearly, it has accumulating good chunk of sellers over here. Look here we can't conclude anything because of the indecision candles. No doubt it is turning into a rejection candle, but the more it will get rejected from the higher level, the more accumulation of all sellers will be there. And if market is planning to be trending today, so as per the spot price, it is not looking that much good in Sensex at least. And Bank Nifty also because it is taking resistance from not a major round number. Yes, there is a high which it has taken, which it has not touched yet, but yes, taking resistance there. So definitely we have to risk the profit to get some higher benefit over here. Yes, our plan is ready. We have to risk the unrealized P&L. because here we could clearly see a clear accumulation had already been happened. And once the continuation of that happens, in Sensex we can have a target of 81,500. But that move needs to be done smoothly, otherwise uh, positions of opposite players would be made over that point. Things are looking good on 15 minutes chart. So as per that, waiting would not be an issue for us. Because it is taking resistance from a good point only. That's why we can, as per my view at least, we can hold this position. So what psychology would be the call sellers having right here is ये वाला high पे चलो stop loss लगाया है and market has not taken that, so we will be lucky right here. The sellers would be thinking that. So if market is showing that and चलो आप अगर सोचो यहाँ पर आप पोजीशन बनाए होगे यहाँ पर आपको रिजेक्शन दिखाया तो आप खुश हो जाओगे कि चलो market is showing rejection and we can add some positions into it. So that is what market is showing right now. So if people start adding position into their selling leg of call, then that is the point when we can get benefit out of it. So the calls are already being very premium right now because 400, 433 points of percentage of momentum already being done. Let's face the retracement a little bit because call sellers are right now facing some trouble. They have just started facing the trouble. There will be a retreat because retracement only. So on 15 minutes, Sensex looks good. And Bank Nifty is also showing some sort of rejection from opposite, which is a good sign for us only. Nifty is also making a rejection candle on the 5 minutes. I think three rejection candles on the 5 minute, so which could be a good sign. Possibly we should not be getting fear out of this position because each and every index has taken resistance by showing some rejections out of candles. That is the point where buyers should get confidence out of the market. Let's see, we can see 500, 81, 500 week out of now. Uh, when I say 81, 500, keep that in mind that it is not going to be a this much smooth journey. You have to be patient enough, and you need to have the guts of losing the whatever unrealized P&L you are seeing right now. Because 81,500 is not a small round number. Once you are targeting this, you should be ready to lose whatever you have gained in the unrealized part, because it is not going to be smooth only, right? You should be keeping that also in mind. Possibly in the next 8 minutes, we'll get to know that the momentum is going to be sustaining in our direction or not. Possibly the next high could be in premium is 143. So the right now momentum is sustaining. We should be happy about that. But this is the momentum just started right now, so we will be waiting for a little bit more. Or we could have limit order placed in the system itself just to get the liquidity market stress further. चलो 500 का तो breakout हो चुका है as per the expectations. Should modify this to some little short extent because it will gonna take a little bit more time to reach there. Once I am getting the liquidity in the first chunk of initial move only, that's the good point. That's the best price that we can get. Other than that, if that is going to be the second time, then it will gonna be horrible. Means you have to wait a little bit. Not exactly point to be worried, but you have to wait a little bit more. That is the thing. So let's put some limit orders. I think I should get that in the. Probably I have got that successfully. Right now the momentum is extending furthermore, we should not be issue to me. Fair enough. Look, initially we have planned for this, right? So because we have planned for this, look, initially the target was at this point. Because the momentum has started happening, the next high is very less likely to be hitting bottom. So that's why we have to take the exit. Also, if you look at the index itself, it has moved by close to 2.78%. So as per the expectation, market has given us the target. This is the day that we should be waiting for a little bit more. But no worries, this is something that we could not predict that it is gonna go. One possible thing would be we should be waiting for at least the double of the price, which is very less likely and which is not someone should be expecting from the market. It is not something quick scheme, quick get rich scheme, right? Because if I am expecting a double of 92, which is 184, then probably no doubt we can get that also. But You should be keeping that in mind. You are just randomly putting the targets or SLs, or you are following the RRR into the market. Possibly the momentum is not yet started in Bank Nifty, but Sensex and Nifty are going good. For this stretch, should be holding. No worries. These are the points that market teaches us, right? What is the point here? Is look when market do a volatility in your premium. So what do you mean by volatility? If you're looking at the price at 119 and it has reached to 123 in a millisecond. So if you are noticing this kind of move, you should be thinking that there are enough liquidity on the higher side. So if that is happening right now, so should not be worried about the running PNL because this will gonna get achieved in the upcoming times also. Means what I am saying right now is if you are getting 123 in the spike, you have a higher possibility of not retracing it back. Also, you have a higher possibility of getting a further more stretch like this in the upcoming 2 to 3 minutes or somewhere close to 1 to 2 minutes. So you should be patient enough. You should be ready to get that if you are holding a option buying position. If this is not for option selling has a completely opposite dynamics. What option buying needs to be. So it is stretching right now, which is a good thing. Getting stretched further move. No worries, we have got the risk to reward as per our plan only. If you look at this premiums, there I should be considering the fact that Bank Nifty has not yet broken the high. So I should be waiting for that at least. Because in a span of just only 4 to 5 minutes, the whole move had already stretched. So if I would have planned this before, then we would probably hold. But because it was not in our plan, so holding this would be horrible for us if one retracement happens. So this candle looks like it will gonna stretch a further more. So yes, our premium has touched double century right now. But to who knows these are the this kind of moves will happen further or not. I'm expecting 500 breakout, market has done 800 breakout, so 300 more points than expectations. So this is out of my expectation. So if somewhere in the future we will plan for this, then we could probably hold our trades for furthermore also. No worries, this is the nature of market, right? It is a business of trade, so you should be understanding that. Let's observe the market. I will update you when you further observations come. So it's been 10:31 and market has doubled the premium which we have entered. It's almost gone to 220 and after that it is retracing to 180. One thing that I totally forgot is the option that we are into is 24/700. If for at least once we have, if I would have thought that 24/700 is the OTM option. Once it becomes ATM and if that becomes ITM, the curve will be like this. So the momentum spike that I am going to have once it becomes ATM is going to be insane. So that's why the uh, time it has taken from our target to reach at least 30 points more than that is less than 3 minutes that I was watching into the premium. This happened because of this momentum curve of an OTM option, which becomes ATM and then becomes ITM at a quick quick span of time. So that's why it happened right now. If I would have thought of this premium as a OTM previously, then I would definitely waited for it to become ITM. Then probably I would have thought of booking the target. So no worries. This is the learning that I have taken just to ensure which premium you are in and ensure that what kind of momentum you are expecting from the market. As per that, set your target, not as per your risk to reward. Because if you set the target as per your risk to reward, it will be fine. But the days will come when risk to reward will not work in your favor. Means if you are getting continuously 5 losses, then no matter what type of risk to reward you follow, you will be facing you will be facing trouble out of it only. Because continuous 5 days means if you have to get everything out of the loss recovered, means you have to target at least 1:3 for 2 consecutive days. So no matter how good risk to reward you will follow, you have to book an insanely good amount of money in one trade, or at least in two term of 2 to 3 years. If you are 2 to 3 months, if you are booking one good big chunk of profit, then that will be ensuring the more losses, consecutive losses of your trading journey. So you need to keep that in mind. So I should be keeping that in mind of 24/700 option, which I totally forgot today. But I will be taking this as a learning here that premium should have a view or premium momentum. The spike that I am going to get in premium that should be once at least kept in mind. After that, we can think for booking target or something like this. That thing I need to be keeping in mind in future trades. So let's see if any observations come. I will tell you. So after the premium has been increasing so much, market has been sideways for last 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So here being positive into the market, you shouldn't be taking any kind of negative trades. Also, the person who are taking negative, which are the reversal kind of trades, they are being impacted today largely. And if you look at other indexes also, they are also going pretty fine. If you look at Bank Nifty also, Bank Nifty has also broken out 55,000, which is the major round number, a major hurdle for Bank Nifty. So it has broken. Also, one thing you should be noticing here is in the entire index of Nifty 50, only two stocks are negative today. Other than that, every index, every stock has been going up by 7%, which is very insane. 7%, 5%, which is very rare. If you had been investing some sorts of money into these stocks, you will be getting very high returns as of now. And two stocks, if you look at IndusInd Bank and Sun Pharma, they are only negative. So as for that, I am closing this session today. So if you are getting any kind of value, make sure you follow this channel.